The last thing you need to be doing is diving into paid traffic. What you need to be doing is building a personal brand. Let's get into why paid ads is really tricky to get into. What's up, guys? Hope you're doing great today. This is Nick with Consulting Profits. And today we're going to be talking about how to grow a personal brand that effortlessly attracts 3 to 5 high ticket clients every single week. And without doing it with any paid ads or anything like that, we're talking about strictly using organic traffic. And there's going to be a couple different reasons why, which we'll get into. But the gist of it is that getting into paid ads is really tough. It's a different type of stress. And yes, at some point, if you're trying to scale, you will need paid traffic. But if we're talking about generating $30,000 to $50,000 a month in revenue, then organic traffic is more than enough to get you there. And let me show you a couple people who use some of my organic traffic and personal branding strategies to actually get results. Like Savannah here, she recently closed a $20,000 pay in full client. So coupled with a leverage consulting offer, I mean, this is like insane results, right? And imagine doing that where it's strictly organic, which essentially means that you didn't have to pay any money to acquire a client. And you can check Daniel here. Yeah, got fantastic results. So basically in 3 days, closed 2 $8,000 pay in fulls, right? Which is fantastic. So just that week, he did $16.5 thousand in basically in payments, right? In cash collected. So, and that's all organic. Both of these people are in my Consulting Profits Mastermind and have not run a single ad. I think there's a huge common misconception that you need to run paid traffic in order to close clients. And at the beginning, if you're at like $5,000 to $10,000 a month right now, the last thing you need to be doing is diving into paid traffic. What you need to be doing is building a personal brand. Let's get into why paid ads is really tricky to get into. So the first thing is you need a relatively big budget, and generally in the realm of $3,000 to $5,000 per month as a minimum, where you're willing to lose that. Because how paid traffic works is you need to be willing to like spend $3,000 to $5,000, test a bunch of different things, be willing to lose that money in order to find the winners. And when you do find the winners, you'll make significantly more, right? You'll win that back and significantly more, but you need to ask yourself, can you stomach $5,000 a month in just testing? All right. So if you're at 5 to 10 grand a month, it doesn't really make sense to invest half of your money into paid traffic right now. And typically when you're getting into paid traffic and you're trying to rush it, you probably have a non-validated offer. So if you have a non-validated offer, especially on cold traffic, it's going to be really tough because you're essentially paying to validate your offer. Whereas you can do that organically and then use the funds from your organic traffic into your paid traffic. So really you need to optimize that on cold traffic, and it's easier to do that with organic because there's just a lot more room for error. The other thing is your sales process needs to be dialed in. Typically with organic traffic, one, you're not paying for sales calls. So you can practice all your sales processes and things like that without the pressure of needing to force a sale, right? Because if you're booking calls organically for free, well, then it doesn't really matter if you fumble 10 sales calls in a row. Whereas if you're paying $100 to $200 per booked appointment, well, if you fumble 10 sales calls, that's like $2,000, right? So most of the time, people aren't really dialed in on their sales process yet, which is why I recommend getting to about like a minimum of $20,000 to $30,000 a month before you even attempt paid traffic. And sometimes in a lot of like, like in the mastermind that I have, all the people in it are still utilizing organic traffic to the tune of like $60,000 to even $70,000 a month with absolutely no reason to jump into paid traffic, right? So, most people will try to get into paid ads way too early because, they basically just want to rush the process. And if you rush the process, it's fine. It can work. Just be ready to pay for it. Now, when it comes to organic, I really like organic. So if you're at 5 to 10K per month, you don't need to invest any money into paid ads. Just start with $0 and start to push it organically, right? There's absolutely no risk when it comes to organic, okay? Validate your offer. This allows you to validate your offer. You can test as many offers as possible and see what works and see what doesn't work. If it works, fantastic, you validated your offer. But if it doesn't work, well, it doesn't really matter. You didn't lose money validating your offer. You lost a little bit of time and some effort, but I'd rather lose a little bit of time and effort to validate my offer than to spend tens of thousands only to figure out what my offer needs to be after that. Or worst case, you spend tens of thousands and you don't even validate your offer. So it's a lot easier to validate it organically. And typically when you validated it organically, it will perform better when it comes to paid traffic after that. And then it allows you to practice your sales process. So I kind of think of like organic as like if you think of like boxers, right? Like they spar a lot of rounds, or like golfers practice like their practice rounds in golf before they go to a tournament. Paid traffic is like, in my opinion, going to the tournament and you have to perform and everything has to be perfect in order for you to win. Organic is kind of like your practice rounds, right? So that's how you think about it. So there's no pressure. And if you ever done sales before, when you don't feel pressure, ironically, you close more. So it's a lot easier to practice your sales process with no pressure than when you're like, oh, I just paid $200 for this call. I have to close it. I'm like $5,000 deep in ads right now. And if I don't close it, I basically just lost all this money. And then if you have that pressure on you, you're going to try to force a sale and people are going to feel like you're being pushy and things like that. And you're not going to be able to actually sell the right way, sell authentically. So kind of with this, it really allows you to practice your sales process and get that really dialed in, coupled with your offer being validated. Like at that point, you're going to be closing, 25, 30%. So how do you actually start doing organic traffic? Well, the first step is you need to pick a platform. It doesn't matter what platform it is. The thing that matters is your ideal client is on that platform. So they're probably going to be on one of these: Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. Doesn't really matter which one you start with, as long as your ideal client is on there. For me, I'm big on Instagram and Facebook. I'm delving into LinkedIn now. I did use LinkedIn a lot before, moved away from it because Facebook and Instagram did so well for me. But all these platforms are really good. They have generally most niches, most ideal clients on there. So pick one of them and most likely you're going to be able to find them. All right. Then what you want to do is add 50 people a day. So do this yourself, get a VA to do it, whoever, but start to do this because this is going to allow you to fill the bucket up. And how I think about it is when you add 50 people a day, every person that adds you back is essentially a lead, right? Because if you think about like, if you had to pay for this traffic, let's say you wanted 50 leads a day, average cost per lead is like $20. It's basically like, I don't know, can't do the math, but like $1,000 a day or something like that if you wanted 50 leads. So it adds up really, really quick. So what you really want to do is just focus on filling the bucket. Okay. So when it's organic, you really just want to fill the bucket up. You're not necessarily trying to get booked calls yet, but these are going to be of your exact ideal client. So if you're in, whatever niche that you're in, like if you're targeting realtors, real estate investors, lawyers, accountants, roofers, painters, whoever it is, start to add 50 of them a day. And if you add 50 of them a day, then what you will do is you'll post daily content. And your daily content is going to be educational. They're going to document what you do for your current clients. So if you're getting your clients great results, document what you're doing, share what you're doing that is getting them fantastic results. And this becomes easier as you land more clients as well. Because as you land more clients, we talk about being a consultant and solving more problems. Well, you're going to solve more problems and create more solutions. And as you solve more problems and create more solutions, document that and share that. All right. And then you're also going to toss out content that promotes offers. So this is like when you're wanting clients or you want some inbound leads and things like that, you can toss some offers out and basically essentially get them into a book call. So you do want to post as much as you can. Every day is ideal, especially if you don't really have an organic presence. But posting daily is what's going to get you people converting into actual like leads who are messaging you and wanting what you offer, and also just giving them awareness of what you offer. Like it's very likely the case, like no one really knows what you actually offer right now because you're not sharing it enough. So the more people that see what you're offering, the more likely that they're going to want what you have to offer if it's a good offer. Educational stuff is just going to give you more authority, and people are going to know you know what you're talking about. So the caveat with this is that you actually have to kind of be good at what you're doing, and you actually have to know what you're talking about in order for people to actually respect that, right? So you want to start to post educational stuff and document everything. This is a really fast way to also grow, because if you have a post that goes viral or things like that, it's really good because you'll just gain a bunch of new followers. And typically if it goes viral, it's usually going to be to your ideal clients. After you're in a cadence of posting daily, what's going to happen is people are going to start to see you all the time. And when they start to see you and things like that, they're going to recognize you. And this is where you start to DM them. Most of the time without this stuff, right? If you're just going straight to cold DMs and you're not doing any of this stuff, people are just not going to respond to you. But if your content is dialed in, people will respond to you when you DM them, right? They're going to hit you up. They're going to say, I love what you're saying. I love what you're offering and things like that. So on occasion, you're going to get people who are inbound leads who are like coming to talk to you and things like that, and asking you for a booked call, or they'll just go and schedule themselves into your calendar. Like I get a ton of people who watch my videos, who look at my content, who reach out every single day, and they want to basically work with me, right? And it's all because I'm doing so much content and also communicating with them in the DMs. So in the DMs, another thing that you can offer is your VSL. So you can craft a VSL, you can share that with them, and that's going to get them really pre-sold. That's one of the strategies that's working incredibly well right now is we're posting content, and then what we're doing is sending them a VSL that they can watch. And the VSL essentially just covers exactly what we offer. Then you can follow up with them, invite them to book a call, and essentially hop on a sales call with them. You do this, you do everything here, you do 25 DMs a day, you add 50 people a day. That should net you about 10 to 15 calls per week. And these are going to be high quality calls because you've specifically chosen your ideal client to add. On top of that, they've gone through your VSL, right? Or your lead magnet or whatever it is. They're going to be significantly more pre-sold because they've seen your content, right? They're not just coming in super, super cold from an ad that they just saw and booked a call and haven't known you for more than 24 hours. These are people who are going to be seeing your stuff and actually like bought into what you do and bought into you as a person as well. Okay. And then these are also going to be like inbound leads. Like these are going to be the hottest leads that you can possibly generate. And because of that, you're going to be closing 3 to 5 new clients per week. And if you have a high ticket offer, it should be in the range of 5 to 15,000 per client, right? And if you do it all correctly, then you just get leads like this, right? So we recently hosted an event. Tyler was there, and literally like as he's sitting there on his flight home, he closes up $5,200 over message. So it's like, if you can do that, you can close 5K deals, 10K deals without the stress of having to run paid traffic. You should definitely do that to the tune of like $30,000 to $50,000 a month. And Tyler's doing about 60 grand a month right now with this offer. So it really works, and there's no slowdown of his growth. He's got a ton of people who still want to work with him. So implement the organic funnel. Make sure your offer is super dialed in. If you need help with your offer, just go and watch my leverage consulting offer video on how to actually craft your offer and things like that. And you should start to be closing clients organically very, very quickly. So let me know if you have any questions. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys very soon. Take care.